So you got to ask. I don't know where this is going, but anyway, do you want to ask me what we're doing?
Yeah. What's up?
We are talking. Please tell me, have you ever heard of Dino Bravo?
No.
Dino Bravo.
No.
Dino Bravo.
Oh, Dino Bravo.
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about Dino Bravo, who was one of Canada's most famous wrestlers.
Oh.
Who then got involved with the mafia.
Not that famous, apparently.
And I didn't remember. He is famous. Anyway, let's play the titles.
Play them.
Super bland, cold nuts, super light. The place that's excitement, kryptonite. You may fall asleep with no warning. Because Canada is boring, boring. 'Cause Canada is boring. Canada is boring. So boring. Canada is so fucking boring, boring. A real cool podcast with Reese and Jesse.
Hello, and welcome to Canada is Boring.
Oh, little admin, real quick, about the song.
I was literally just introducing the
No, I
episode.
know. I love it. But I just need to...
Can I do... Hello, welcome to Canadian Politics is Boring. My name is Reese Waters, and with me is Jesse Harley.
That's the wrong
Yeah,
name.
I've got it out of me.
You said the wrong name.
Canada is Boring.
We changed brands.
Yeah. So what was your question?
The song. I don't understand the lyrics.
Which song?
Our intro song, Canada's Boring. I don't understand the lyrics. I think we should sing over top of them.
You don't understand the lyrics.
I can't hear them.
It says Canada is boring.
Yeah.
You don't know the lyrics.
No, I can't understand them.
Why?
Because the quality is bad.
It's not. It's like a 1950s recording.
You gonna play them?
No, I can't find it. I can't be bothered. Anyway, so Jesse, how's your life? What have we been up to?
I think what you same shit, different day.
Are you still doing capoeira?
No, I haven't done capoeira in a long, long time. I got an injury back in 2017 that prevented me from
Capoeira dick?
Yep. You've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. Some of the greatest performers and practices of capoeira have fallen to
capoeira dick.
Yeah,
it's you're playing with somebody else in the ring, in the roda, and they just kind of kick you in the dick about 15 to 35
playing with
times.
Somebody else in the ring
in the roda, yeah, in the roda.
No wonder your dick's not working.
What's going on with you?
What's it called? A hoda?
A roda. H-O-D-A, I think.
Is it
it's
true?
Portuguese.
Is it true that it's dance fighting because they weren't allowed to teach fighting and the dance fight was to hide it, or not?
I can go down this road. It's really fascinating if you want to hear 30 seconds. It's pretty
If you
cool.
can do it in 30 seconds,
I'll try,
then yes.
Yeah. So the history is very muddled. It's about 300 years old, and there's no concrete proof of any of this. It's all kind of word of mouth with some smatterings of written down. So no idea if this is true or not. But as the story goes is either in Brazil or somewhere else. I'm going to say Brazil. A dictatorship came in, a government dictatorship kind of took over the land, saw that they were that a lot of the people had capoeira that they were teaching, and they saw how powerful and how dangerous it was, and so they outlawed it. Nobody is allowed practicing, and nobody's allowed teaching this martial art. And so they created. They bring in musical instruments. They brought in drums, djembes. They brought in berimbaus, which is like a one-string instrument that you can do two tones with if you press a coin against the string or not when you hit it with a stick. It's very neat. And then they created songs in Portuguese that are very catchy. And then they created sort of this dance movement where you kind of weave back and forth. And they created a circle, and these two opponents would come in, and they would kind of weave back and forth in front of one another, two musical instruments, two song, and then they would kick at one another fluidly. And the whole idea of capoeira is it's a reaction. It's a reactive martial art. You wait for your opponent to move first, and then you react to that in fluid motion.
You go in and kill.
So what ended up happening is police authorities who didn't really know any of the details of any of this stuff, they would come they would hear, musical instruments, they'd hear singing, and they'd walk over and like, hey, what's going on over here? And the public would be like, we're singing, we're dancing, right? And they'd look in and they'd see people kind of doing this weird sort of dance. It wasn't happy, but it was like a very kind of serious looking dance.
An intense dance.
An intense dance to music and to song, and people are clapping and they're playing the drums.
A tango in the ring.
Right. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. And they'd leave. And meanwhile, like, people are dying. Like, we're talking like gang wars are happening, right? Where they're coming together and fighting to the fucking death, right? Sometimes, not all times.
Do they always need music?
Well, again, that's how they evolved to need music to
like
disguise
West Side Story?
Well, to disguise it from the authorities.
Okay, no, but I mean, when the gangs fought, did they have music? Did the bands follow them when they fought?
Yeah, I believe so. Again, so that they could do it, so that they could not be taken away.
Like
Like
they didn't have an internal sense of rhythm.
But essentially, like, okay, to answer your question, I don't know. I'm assuming, I'm guessing.
I want to say to any people who produce musicals out there, whether you're on Broadway or the West End in London, look at that, gang fights, and they needed music to fight each other. It's been passed got big down. Hit written all over it. Move over, Book of Mormon.
It's been yeah. Well, anyway, that wasn't 30 seconds, but there we go. There you go. I think it's fascinating. Honestly,
I was interested.
It's been passed down ever since with musical instruments and song and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any interest moving to my new office at the moment. So I moved, Linda, my big cardboard bear.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Where is she?
She's in the new office waiting. I put her in
a photo.
I did take a picture today when I did. I'll show you now.
Okay, this is really cool shit.
Just peering through
out
a window.
The door. Yeah,
peering through a window.
Stopping burglars.
Yeah. So,
or tempting burglars.
I cannot believe you don't know who Dino Bravo is.
I think you can believe it.
There are people.
I think it'll be pretty easy for you to believe that.
There are people like listening to this screaming like at you because you don't know who Dino Bravo is.
That's fine.
Did you ever watch?
I'm used to that. To tell you the truth.
Do you like wrestling?
It's okay. I'm not. It's not like a thing I'm into.
WWF back in the day.
I did a little bit. I was into like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. And
this is the era.
Undertaker.
Me too. As a kid in the 90s. I loved WWF. I had all the action figures, Legion of Doom, Bushwhacker Brothers.
And then it was pointed out that everyone, and I mean everyone, was confusing the massive wrestling federation with the
Wildlife Federation,
the World Wildlife Federation, and they're like, which is it? We don't know. Oh my God, we're so confused. And so thank God they figured that out, because it was just too confusing for everybody. What the fuck, man?
In the late 80s and early 90s, Dino Bravo was one of the big stars of WWF.
Okay, really?
And he was from Montreal.
Interesting.
So he was born.
What year? Sorry, what years?
He was like the mid to late 80s to early 90s. So he was born Adolfo Bresciano. He was born in Italy, in the commune of Campobasso in southern Italy.
Okay.
And his family emigrated to Canada when he was young, and they settled in the Centre Sud neighborhood of Montreal, in the borough of
Sud is something.
Yeah, Ville-Marie area.
I'm learning French. Yeah. I am. I'm taking like every day.
Me too.
Yeah. Are you really?
No. And he loved wrestling. He got involved in amateur wrestling when he was 12 years old.
Okay. What was his name? I'll never remember it. I don't know.
Well, his name was Adolfo Bresciano, but his stage name, his wrestler name, was Dino Bravo.
Dino Bravo. Okay.
Which is a catchy name.
It is a catchy name.
So,
it's like a dinosaur.
So he started to train under a guy named Gino Brito, and his career started in Montreal in the 70s. And he was known for being like very strong and very skilled, because obviously it is performance,
right?
But it still takes a hell of a lot of skill.
Oh my God!
To catch and throw someone who weighs like 300 pounds.
Yeah,
in a way where neither of you get hurt.
Well, everybody gets hurt.
Well,
they just deal with it a lot better. Yeah,
yeah. You're not actually like if you get hurt in wrestling, it's like because you didn't do the maneuvers properly. Like, is it real? No, but is it still impressive, the level of skill and everything that goes into it? Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'd cry. So
you cry anyway, let's face it. That's how you wake up in the morning.
So he became one of the top professional wrestlers in Canada, I mean, and
The only professional wrestler.
but this was before we had the internet, and there were only 4 channels on TV and everything. So going to watch people wrestle was an actual thing, like the Daredevil we talked about. Hey, what are we going to do today? I'm fucking bored. I know. Let's go and watch a Daredevil. Like, let's go and watch these people wrestle, and it would have been cheap as well. So there was an actual wrestling industry.
It's so interesting having grown up before cell phones and before the internet.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, right? Where I got to see what life was like and be like a conscious, fully formed human being before, you know what I mean? Like, and live life. And then see the advent of all this stuff happening. And like, because you're right, like back then, there was nothing to do. And you had to kind of like, oh, this is a thing that's happening in our city. Let's go. Even if you're not into wrestling, it's something to do. You go.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Whereas today, I find the exact opposite. You are bombarded. You will never bored if you don't want to be. Ever, 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 ever. Not even for micro fucking seconds. No. Right? So you have to make conscious decisions of, I would prefer to do this as opposed to, I would prefer to not be bored 24 hours a day and just mindlessly scroll on your fucking phone or on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You've got like micro interests that stop you from doing other things.
Macro interests, I guess. Yeah. I want to go to the cafe and read my book for an hour. That is
I'm going to sit on this sofa for 4 hours and just
scroll mindlessly. Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting to me. That's anyway, just a side note.
Sorry. He won several major titles, including the Canadian International Heavyweight Championship 6 times and the NWA Canadian Heavyweight Championship. NWA is in the National Wrestling Association rather than the rap group, I guess.
Multi-talented.
I know, exactly. He was rapping and wrestling. So then in 1986, when I was 2 years old, just a small toddler, and you were 34, he joined the World Wrestling Federation.
Okay.
So when he went to the World Wrestling Federation, he also had a makeover. So he'd really bulked up and become much more muscular. And this was at a time when steroid abuse was beginning.
Totally normal.
And he also bleached his brown hair so it was blonde.
I thought you were going to say bleached his asshole. That's
no, bleached. He might have. We didn't know. Might help with those tiny little pants they wear. Anyway. And he began working as part of Luscious Johnny Valentine's stable with Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake.
Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah.
I remember him.
So he was like, hey, we're in a team. And yeah, so he had blonde hair, way more muscular, and that kind of thing. But then he went from being known as a very technical. He was famous in Canada for being a technical wrestler, being able to really pull off these elaborate
physical
moves.
stunts, right?
Yeah. So, but then what happened was, like, I'm not really into wrestling, but this is kind of interesting. He then switched to he was incredibly strong. So they switched to a strongman gimmick.
Oh, okay.
Where his technical side was like replaced with his ability to use like power moves, such as body slams, clotheslines, punch, kicks, and other power holds such as the bear hug, which is where you squeeze someone so they can't breathe.
Jesus.
Right. So yeah, he in the 1998 Royal Rumble, he did like a showpiece thing where he said he was able to bench press more than 500 pounds, and he attempted to bench press 715 pounds.
Holy shit.
Which would have been a world record at the time.
Did he do it?
And commentator and Jesse the Body Ventura helped lift the bar at one point, and but Bravo kind of played the lift as a success and began to billing himself as the world's strongest man. So whether he actually lifted 715 pounds, but it sounds like he was, if anyone, he was like willing to try it and was still incredibly strong.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding.
But then his kind of career came to an end. The people in charge, after he'd been there for like, 6 years, he was getting a bit older. His career was coming to an end. So his final match was against Colonel Mustafa. He and Colonel Mustafa lost to the Legion of Doom. And then he left.
Oh, it was a tag team duo.
Yeah, and then he left. Legion of Doom were weird. I didn't know what was going on with them.
I don't remember them. They sound familiar, though.
It's just their costumes. They had like those big... they looked like they were from Mad Max. They had like spikes on their like spiked shoulder
I
pads.
think
and
okay,
stuff.
right,
Yeah.
90s goth kids.
So he left the WWF and retired from wrestling following a European tour in April 1992, and his last match was in New England, and he started to train wrestlers. But according to his good friend Rick Martel, who was also a wrestler, Dino liked the high life. He always used to drive like a sporty Mercedes. He had a big house, and there was no way he was going to transition to 9 to 5. He loved the
Like
show.
just getting a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. Like of just the idea of retiring from wrestling and doing something else with his life was just not something he wanted.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, honestly. From like an entertainer to a boring desk job? No, fuck no.
Exactly. Exactly. So he's like, hey, I'm like, so he.
What did he do?
So, well, because WWF was the only game in town, really, they monopolized kind of like, there were a few other different wrestling groups, but like very aggressively kind of took over the industry. There was nowhere else for him to go with
That's too
wrestling.
bad.
His uncle was the head of the mafia in Montreal.
No fucking way.
And he always said to Dino, just come and work for me. It's fine. Just come
In
and
the
work,
mafia?
Come and work with your uncle. Yeah.
Okay.
Wrestling's not working out. Come work with me.
What did he do it?
Yes.
No.
So the Corderoni family was part of the Bonanno crime family branch out in Montreal, one of the 5 families that dominates organized crime in New York City and beyond. So it was like,
Sorry.
he's ringing. It's the mob. So this was like serious mob. This was like proper. This was like I don't know, Al Pacino mob.
Jesus.
That's the level of mob.
This is where in Montreal, did you say?
This was there was a branch of the family was connected to the New York mob, but they were the branch operating in Montreal.
Wow.
But it was
What did he do for the mob?
So he worked as a chauffeur for like someone high up in the mob, but he also there was also some loan sharking, and apparently, but the main business was smuggling cigarettes.
Interesting.
So Dino
was he dealt with like getting money back from?
Well, you're not going to say no to Dino Bravo.
Right.
He's like, just bear hug someone. Give me my $2,000.
Just shits it out. Yeah.
Just shit, air out your mouth, shit out your bum. And then I'll pay you.
That's Reese describing his sex life.
Or imagine like he starts doing like he clotheslines someone. It's like, just pulls out a plastic chair and hits them over the head with it. I imagine because you owe money. So he started getting involved in smuggling cigarettes, and
Okay, this was a twist I did not expect.
I know it's such a hell of a story. So
How old was he at this point?
he would have been, I think he was in his 40s.
Oh
He
wow.
was about 44, I think, at this point.
Okay.
So yeah, so smuggling cigarettes. And I know people who used to smuggle from Europe to the UK. Anyway,
Were cigarettes illegal in Canada?
no, but you can buy them cheaper. They're like, there's no tax on them, and like, you think how much tax is on cigarettes because they're like, hey, don't smoke. We're going to put heavy tax burden on them because it's bad for you.
Right.
Well, there's an opportunity there if you can bring cheap cigarettes in from somewhere else and sell them, like, you know, in the pubs. That's where I used to see people selling smuggled cigarettes. They just go into a pub and go, anyone want cigarettes? And they go, yeah, and they just hand them over a box like 200 cigarettes,
Holy shit.
like a pack of 200 or whatever, the big one, and just pay them a small amount of money. Anyway, enough about criminal activities in British pubs. So the cigarette business started to go so well for him. Apparently, no, this is again his friend's testimony, that the people in the cocaine industry started to get a bit envious and started sniffing around.
That's
See what I did there?
yeah.
Saying maybe we should get involved. So apparently Dino started to work with, he said, hey, you know, bring me in on some of your cigarette deals and I'll bring you in on some of my cocaine deals.
Oh, all right.
So apparently what happened, the story goes, there was a $400,000 shipment that Dino had brought into a warehouse, and it was there for 3 days. And then when...
Say that again?
So Dino had helped, apparently, and we don't know if this is true or not because this is his best friend telling the story. There was a $400,000 shipment of cocaine that Dino was overseeing in a warehouse.
Wow.
And it was there for 3 days. And apparently on the third day when they went to pick it up, the police were there.
Oh, shit.
And people were pissed off because why was the cocaine in the warehouse for so long? It was supposed to be moved fast and distributed. So then there was a lot of heat on people were blaming each other and trying to like play the blame game. Well, we have no idea whose fault it was, but Dino essentially was given a lot of heat. And that's kind of what led to his murder.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So it was Wednesday night, and his wife and daughter were at ballet lessons, and he was home watching hockey on TV. Apparently, his wife came home, and luckily his daughter was asleep in her arms. And the first thing his wife saw was there was just blood everywhere in the house. So he was still sat in the chair, but he had 10 bullets in his head.
Oh my, 10?
10.
In his head?
Apparently
Jesus Christ.
There was a rumor that the shooter had tried to shoot a happy face in the back of his head.
Oh my God.
But there was no forced end. This is the crazy bit. There was no, I mean, that's pretty fucking crazy, but it's about to get crazy.
Where was the daughter?
She was at ballet lessons with the mother.
Okay.
And the mother came home to find them, and the daughter had fallen asleep.
In his arms?
In her arms.
In her arms?
Yeah, she was carrying her.
Okay.
There was no forced entry in the house, and it was the winter, so there were no footprints like around the outside of the house. So
he did it to himself.
No, the rumor is that it was an inside person. It was somebody new, and somebody was like, "Hey, I'll come watch the hockey with you." And then, like, when they were like kind of snuck away to get a beer or something, shot him in the back of the head, 10 times.
10 fucking times.
The remote control was loose in his hand, which is an indication that.
Hold on, I'm just trying to. I mean, this is a gruesome thought, but like 1, 2, 3, and then the happy face.
You just
4, 5, 6.
Jesse's
7, 8,
miming
9, 10.
shooting a smiley face in someone's head.
I'm trying to think of how many fucking. You don't need 10 bullets to do a happy. All right. Anyway, let's do it. Eyebrows.
Maybe he wanted to go. Maybe he wanted detail.
Like, yeah.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ. Little shadowing, like.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, everyone. So apparently the remote control was loose in his hands. So if I was going to shoot you in the head now, you would tense up. If you saw someone was going to come and shoot,
it was in the back of the head. He didn't see it coming.
No, exactly. So that's how they know he didn't see it coming, because he just died.
Well, also, it was in the back of his head.
No, I know, but that's how they knew that he wasn't aware he was about to be killed. There was no struggle or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was in the back of his head.
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's kind of the big clue.
The murder is still unsolved.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's the story of Dino Bravo.
That's fucking crazy. I was trying to think of so usually we do dear listener, we either do a quiz, which you, the audience, can join along with, or we do an improvised Heritage Minute. There's so many fucking details with this. I don't know if I'll be good at a quiz. And I can't think of what would be fun for an improvised Heritage Minute. Not like the shooter trying to do a happy face in the back of his head with a bolt like that.
Yeah, I'm not
that would be horrifying.
I'm not doing that.
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm
trying to think of what we could like.
But let's just talk about. I will tell you what. Talk about the fact that I did not realize that the mafia had such a big presence in Canada.
You like Costco so much, they're calling you.
No, it's not. It's an alert to remind me to go to Costco.
Oh, okay.
Because I am going to go to. Do you know why I go to? Do you know why? All right, fuck it. Let's just talk about Costco.
We're gonna.
Do you know why I love Costco so much?
They're cheap. I don't know.
Because we're a household of 6 people plus dog.
Right.
And we buy in bulk.
That's smart.
We have 3 freezers,
Jesus.
so we can store the food. Because with the price of food is the only way to plan and prep and to do it properly. And I can have a hot dog and a drink for $1.50.
That's true.
Yes, it gives me diarrhea, but it's cheap. And that's my choice.
All right. I'll stop judging it. Let's do admin and then a quiz. How about that?
Okay, fine. You do the admin then.
Quick reminder, people in Halifax, our live show is coming up May 26th, Sunday. I forget the time at Two Crows Brewing in Halifax. If you want to buy tickets, they are going fast. Actually, I don't even know when this episode's dropping. Will our show have...
I don't know.
Maybe our show. Maybe we've already done our live show by this point.
So 1, 2. No, it's this Sunday.
It's this coming Sunday.
Our show is this Sunday.
Okay, everyone. So buy your fucking tickets online if they haven't already been sold out. I don't know yet because we're recording this in advance. Like they might be sold out. Go to CanadianPoliticsIsBoring.com. Buy your tickets. Come have a laugh with us. If you had a hard day in church.
Or email CanadianPoliticsIsBoring@gmail.com to inquire if you want to ask any questions.
Sure. Yeah.
Or become a patron at patreon.com/CanadianPoliticsIsBoring. And you can just talk to us directly in the chat app.
You know what we haven't asked for a long time is for people to leave a speak pipe.
Yes.
Yeah. Leave us a speak pipe. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And if it's not full of racial slurs, we might play it on a future episode. Just go to speakpipe.com/CanadianPoliticsIsBoring.
Yeah, we do frown on those.
Yeah, but we haven't changed the name to Canada's Boring Ed, I don't think. Speakpipe.com/CanadianPoliticsIsBoring. There should be a link in the show notes. It's like an anonymous voicemail you can leave within like 5 seconds. You don't have to sign up or nothing. It's kind of cool. I don't know why
You'll
more
love
people
it.
are doing it. It's kind of neat. I like it.
You love it.
You'll love it. Okay, quiz time. Quiz time.
Okay.
Join us, dear listener.
Can you name one of the wrestlers he fought with?
He only fought with one. It was like Mustafa or something.
No, he was part of the...
He fought with Mustafa against the Doom Patrol.
No, it was Mustafa. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I was thinking it was going to be like, you could have named Greg the Hammer Valentine or Brutus Beefcake, consider you knew him. What year did he begin the World Wrestling Federation?
1986.
Yay!
Hey!
Bing, 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 bing. Okay, now
Yay!
Jesse, for the lazy boy chair.
Oh, all right. Yeah, how lazy I am.
Year's supply of cat food.
Excellent. I don't have a cat.
You should get
Time
one.
to get one. Yeah.
I get one. And this pair of rocket-powered roller skates.
Excellent.
Signed by Wayne Gretzky.
Perfect. Yep. I'll get a lot for that on eBay.
Yeah. It makes no sense, but what size shipment of what was the value shipment of cocaine that apparently was caught by the police that caused the chain of events that led to the murder, supposedly?
I've got two numbers in my head. I want to say 400,000.
Yay! The roller skates are yours.
Yay!
Do you want to put them on now?
Yes.
Don't the ink's still drying on the Gretzky signature.
Oh, it's fresh. Okay.
We didn't use a Sharpie. I don't know if it'll ever dry, but just don't smudge it.
So it's Gretzky's signature, but not necessarily from Gretzky. Right? Yeah.
Is a man named Dwayne Gretzky. But we rubbed the D out. So
Bet you rub the D out every night. Yeah.
imagine being called Dwayne Gretzky and living in Canada. What a nightmare. Imagine every time you start a new job.
It'd be like having a name like, Fadolf Gittler.
Exactly.
Or something like just makes your life just a little complicated, Yeah.
Mustin Pudo.
All right, dear listener, thanks so much for listening to Canada is Boring. I've been Jesse. This has been Reese. Come see us. Come see us this Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Buy some drinks or don't. Just hang out with us after the show.
Or just maybe we won't do a show. Maybe it'll just be an informal booze.
Informal boozing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a show. There'll be a show.
There will be a show. I'm joking. But there will be an informal boozing too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get fucking wasted together.
Yeah.
I get to see Reese as a fun nightmare finally.
I'm driving, so I won't
Take
be
an Uber.
drunk.
Take an Uber. Have a drink with me.
I'm not going to have a drink with you when I'm
Why not?
driving.
No, don't drive. That's what I'm saying.
I live in the forest. They don't go that far.
I'll pay for your Uber home. You Uber up. I'll get you to Uber home. How about that? I've never drank with you. Like it's just, it's like the one opportunity I have to drink with you.
We can always just go out for a beer. We've just never arranged it.
No, I want to see the fun nightmare that is Reese when he's drinking rum.
Not on a Sunday night, and I would have been in church all day. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Fucking hell.